actually more difficult than the first.
Which is actually correcting.
Correcting and changing the regulatory system, and what you have to do in the long term is the exact opposite of what you did in the short term.
Tell us a little bit more about your philanthropy, because is this because now you have enough wealth that you feel the need to distribute some of that wealth?
Well, it goes back now. I've been engaged for since 1979, so it's now 30 years. I had only a fraction of my wealth, but I thought that's enough for me and my family, and why do I knock myself out making money? And that's when I reflected and set up my foundation, and I decided that this very abstract idea of an open society is really what I care about.
Okay, finally, Mr. Soros, how would you like to be remembered as this very successful speculator who made money when others lost theirs, and perhaps even, some say, accuse you of causing the Asian crisis? If I'm not mistaken, Mahathir said that you were behind the 1997 Asian crisis, or as a philosopher or a philanthropist or someone who wants to make changes in the world?
Actually, philosophy is what really interests me, practical philosophy, something that you can actually translate into action, that can guide you in action. But generally speaking, I prefer to be a legend in my lifetime rather than afterwards.
Which is what would you like to be the legend in your lifetime?
No, I prefer to be a legend while I'm alive, and I don't care that much how I am remembered.
But you know, you feel that you are making an impact now?
Very much so.
For the good?
I hope so.
And when people look at you suspiciously, how do you feel about that?
I think they are entitled to be suspicious, because generally people who claim to be philanthropic very often are using philanthropy to advance their personal interests. And I also do that. In other words, I'm selfish and self-centered. It's just that I'm also very critical, and I don't get satisfaction out of my philanthropy unless it actually does some good.
Okay, Mr. Soros, thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure talking to you.
I enjoyed it too. Thank you
very much. So, what can we make of this encounter with George Soros? Well, first of all, it's interesting to note that he himself prefers to be known more as a philosopher than anything else, especially since the world knows him as a legendary global financier, and a very successful one at that. And secondly, his ideas on the new financial paradigm is certainly food for thought for economists who've always believed in the infallibility of the free market system. Because at the end of the day, as humans move market, the global market system can only at best be infallible because human beings are unpredictable. And that's all for today's episode. Don't forget to join me next month to meet another person who makes a difference to our world on Face to Face with Desi Anwar, bringing you the world.
Money, money, money must be funny in a rich man's world.